I went through like a big depression because as soon as I quit my job, I was only playing with a certain amount of money that I had in my savings account. And I said, if this runs out, I'm fucked. Like, estoy jodida. And I bought a house like a year and a half ago, trying to be an investor in real estate first. I didn't really want to get my license. I was like, no, I don't want to be a salesperson. I just like want to invest. And I did like a seller financing deal in a different state. It worked out. I rented it. I did everything by myself. I marketed the place. I went to where it is and I worked on it. I myself, as a woman by myself, I just booked my flight. So, and because I was still working. I was still working as a dental assistant. But then it came to a point where I was like, I need to stop working, get my license, get more information of the field that I'm going to be in, whether it's an investor or whatever I am. I like to always do my homework. I am the type of person that I will Google something before and inform myself before I even make a comment. Like if I don't know, then I don't know. I can only tell you what I heard, what I've seen, what I read. If I can, then I can't even comment. So I quit my job. My house ended up having a big issue right after I quit my job. And I was really fucked. And I was very depressed. And I actually me alejé de todos, de mi familia. And I'm like, I was like, no puedo. Like, how the fuck am I going to do this? All my money that I had saved, because now at one point too, I was working like 3 jobs. So I had a lot, not a lot, but I have a good amount of money saved. Because I was working 3 jobs. And like if my other friends, like I had no days off. I was working like every single day, probably doubles. Everybody's like, I don't know how the fuck you do it. And I'm like, well, I'm paying my fucking 2 years of getting on my prereqs so that I can become an RN and get into that program. And I didn't want to get a loan. I didn't want to get a loan. So I ended up working like so much because I was paying my school and my bills. Again, estoy sola. And so, in the mix of that, I was with someone, then I wasn't with someone. And it's like, again, we're going to get into everything. We're going to get into my whole life. Like, we're just going to be like, you're going to know who I am at the end of my mission, like wherever it is. So no job. All my savings that I had to like play with went away because it had to go into the house. And right away, like